I'm scared something's gonna mess up with the recording.
We'll be fine.
Then we just won't post it. That happened.
I mean, okay, right.
Cancelled.
Okay. What's the quack? Cancelled before it's even started.
What's the Quack was found using a racist slur.
Right, hello guys, and welcome to the new Eurovision podcast, What's the Quack? I am here today. My name is Ellie, I'm from England, if you can't already tell from my voice, and I am joined by Cian.
Hi, I'm Cian. I'm from Ireland. Probably could tell that.
And Modris, whose name I'm not saying
How about
right, so...
that? uh, Hello, I'm Modris and I'm from Latvia.
And we are here today to talk about Junior Eurovision 2020, aka the smallest song contest you've ever seen in your entire life. So, yeah. We're gonna kick off just by saying,
Our
like,
experience with Junior
experiences
Eurovision
with Junior
before.
Eurovision, yes. So, like, how many we've watched in the past and stuff like that. So I'll let Modris go first.
Yeah, so I've never watched a single live show of Junior Eurovision Song Contest, and this year I didn't watch the live show, but I watched the full show later. I've listened to some of the songs from previous years, but I've never really liked any of them. So this was a kind of new experience for me. Kian, your turn, I guess.
Cian?
I've been watching Junior Eurovision since about 2015, pretty much when Ireland debuted was when I started kind of following it. Like Modris, I've gone back and listened to songs before, and for the most part, the winners are fine. I've watched the full show for the past 5 years, and I watched the full show this year.
Right, and I watched it for the first time last year. I did a podcast on it with one of my friends last year, and that was the first time I'd ever seen it. But I have seen quite a few of the performances from the year before, 2018. Uh, Before that, I've basically seen nothing. So this was like my second time properly watching it, and because I can't work out time zones, I actually slept through the live show, so I watched it again later because would it really be me if I hadn't slept through it? Like, let's be real. So
How did you sleep through it? I was at work when it was on.
I was asleep. I hadn't slept the night before, and my full intention was to just not sleep at all. But then I got in bed and I just fell asleep. And then when I woke
We're
up,
in the
it was like 5:30, and the
we're in the
voting had
same time
started.
zone. We're in the same time zone, and I was at work and you were asleep.
So basically, none of us actually watched it live, but we have all
I
watched
watched
the
bits
show.
and I watched bits and pieces, and then I had to go back and watch it in
I
full.
literally woke up when Queen Milani was presenting Spain's votes. I was literally just in time to see Milani present her votes, and then I went
What an
back to the
icon.
start and started watching it from the beginning. So, but yeah.
Would just like
Anyway,
to add, Melanie was my winner last year, so that's a
Queen.
fun fact.
I don't know. I think
I have no idea
she was like my
what
second or
who
third. I think. Yeah, Mod
who
just
she
didn't see it.
is.
No, Mod didn't know
I
that.
have no idea who that is.
Right, so we are basically going to go through the songs in order of the running order, and we're going to basically say what we think of them, and I have rated them out of 5. None of the others have rated them, so I'll give my rating out of 5, and then at the very end, we will go through our final tops based on song and performance. I believe Kian has a top based on just the songs before the live show. So when we are talking about the songs, Kian will say where it was in his original top, and then he'll say his final top at the end with the rest of us.
Correct.
Okay. I might need some help with some pronunciation of some of these names. I'll be honest. I think we can start off pretty easy though with Germany, who sent "Stronger with You" by Susan, which the name Susan caught me off guard. I'll be honest. I didn't expect one of them to be called Susan.
Not the
But yeah.
German one, anyway.
No. But anyway, yeah, "Stronger with You" by Susan, which I originally read when I was writing my notes, I actually wrote the wrong song name. I don't know what I wrote. Um but I didn't put with you. I put something else. So yeah. Anyway, regardless, this was the first song. Open the show, and we'll go to Cian. Cian, what did you think of "Strong with You"?
Contrary to popular opinion, I actually really like the song. Um, and I know I get a lot of stick a lot of the times for not liking ballads, but I did really like this one. I think they had a better pop song in the national final. I think Susan was the right choice.
They had a
I thought
national
it was a
final.
weird. They had a national final with another song and about six
All
other
right.
kids or something. Susan was definitely the best singer. I thought it was a weird song to open the show, though. I thought
Yeah. It,
it
it
was
was it was a bit of an odd opener. I would agree with
it
that.
was weird to open the show with Germany and follow it with Kazakhstan.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't think that helped anyone, even though Kazakhstan came second anyway. I don't think that helped anyone. I thought
Yeah.
her vocals were fine. You could tell she was a bit nervous. She was a bit flat in places. You could tell she wasn't using playback, which some people seem to really care about this year. Um, Overall, I don't think she deserved last. Like this was my second favorite before the
Oh
show.
yeah. The fact this came last when
I
something
oh
else
no,
exists, but
I
I
was
mean I won't
I
talk
was
about that yet.
no, we will get to my last because there's only one song I actually like hated this
Oh
year,
yeah, same.
and it wasn't Germany. It wasn't
I
Germany.
hope
Germany
it's.
didn't
I
deserve
hope
the
we have
last
the
place.
same one. I feel like we tend to agree a lot on these things.
Anyway, yeah, Germany didn't deserve last.
Yeah, I'll go next then because I've been talking. Um, my notes are basically people won't understand this if they haven't seen my previous Eurovision podcast, Eurocast. But basically, last time I did a podcast on Junior Eurovision, all I did was basically sit there and slag off what they were wearing the entire time. So I've carried on the trend, and at least one of my notes for every single performance is based on the outfits. I was pleasantly surprised by the outfits this year. Last year they were literally awful. I don't think a single person had a good outfit, but this year they were surprisingly good. And the first note that I put for Germany before anything else was a sensical outfit. this
Well, I mean,
this
you
is
would
not a
expect
normal
sensible from
Junior
somebody named
Eurovision.
Susan.
This is not a normal Junior Eurovision. You can tell right off the bat because she was dressed normally.
You would
Um,
expect a sensible outfit from someone called Susan.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I just said that the last chorus is cute. I think she had a lot of like backing vocals and things, which was nice, but the rest of it was a bit flat. Like it was a bit one note, sort of didn't really go anywhere. Um, and you can definitely tell that the lyrics were for a kids contest, which is not a bad thing because it is a kids contest. Like, but you can definitely tell that it was aimed at a much younger audience than us. Um, but I didn't mind it. It sort of landed middle of the road for me, so I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, which ended up being one of my lower scores. But you'll see in my top later where that sort of ended up. So anyway, Modris.
Yes. So my story with this song is I will remind that I haven't heard any songs before yesterday night, and so I put on the live show, and I was eating dinner while the all intro and introduction everything went on. So I finished my dinner, still no songs, and then suddenly Germany starts playing, and I'm making tea. So I don't hear half of the song, but when
Oh,
I
brilliant!
finally hear it,
A
my
great
my
start.
first thought is my first thought is this song, and this is Germany, so this will finish last, and it ended at last. I later went back to listen to it once again, and it wasn't the worst song, of course, and you will see that in my sorry, right, ratings as well.
It's
Rankings.
okay.
That's the word I'm looking for. Um, but yeah, I predicted it would come last, and
It did.
that's all I have to say about this one. Let's move
Right.
on to Kazakhstan.
Yes, Kazakhstan with Forever by um
Karakat Barsanova. Let me just say
there
it.
you go.
Karakat Barsanova.
Modric has got us. Who wants to start? Do you want me to start? I'll start because my notes for this one are quite something. My first note is literally in full caps. Um, and it just says, the dress is amazing. Please, this is how you make a ballad interesting. And I think that was my like main point with this one is it's quite difficult to stage ballads in well, it's not difficult, it's just I think some countries really struggle to stage ballads in an interesting way that's not just someone standing there and singing, and I think a good dress definitely helps, and her dress was absolutely incredible. Like the LED was beautiful, and the way it like the lights were on the dress and it looked like the dress was like animated. It was just amazing. Like the whole staging behind it was incredible, and her voice, like what? She's a child. Hello, like honestly, I loved it so much. I think for a kid, the emotion that she managed to get through as well, like I don't know, like it was just amazing. I've literally one of my notes just says the LED help, I'm quaking. Um and then the last note that I put is just my heart. So I think that pretty much sums up what I thought of that. It was amazing. Like I just can't fault it. It was once again Kazakhstan delivering quality as well. May I add, like last year was amazing, and this year did not disappoint. So yeah, Cian.
Yeah, I thought Kazakhstan was brilliant live. I thought the staging was brilliant. Her voice, Jesus, her voice was so good. I thought this was more interesting than the studio version. Struggled to get into the studio version. It was my sixth before the show. I don't know. It's a very. It's not like your normal typical ballad. It doesn't have a kind of a flow to it until it gets to about 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought like second was absolutely deserved. It was
Oh,
so good.
100%.
Like even last year, I wasn't a big fan of Kazakhstan last year, but live it was
How
so
can you
good.
not be a fan of Kazakhstan last year? His
It's
little
just
face.
good.
He was so
I,
cute.
I actually I'll talk about Kazakhstan when we get to Russia later because they're very similar.
Wait, I
But
forgot to
live,
mention as well, I
yeah,
give it a 5 out of 5, obviously.
yeah,
If that didn't come
yeah. So
across, I give it a 5 out of 5.
yeah, so I had it sixth, but I thought live it was excellent. Um, like when she started crying halfway through the
Oh my god.
performance, I nearly lost it. It was so good. I also saw a lot of online hate. We won't name the country of where these fans were from, but I think we can all guess where
But
they
yeah,
were from.
we be new.
That criticized you. They said she used her father to try and win, which I thought was disgusting.
What?
The song, because the song is about her father who died earlier this year, and
I
they were saying,
That's
yeah,
horrid. That is
it's
actually horrible.
horrendous.
Yeah, no.
It's horrendous. And I thought it was, if this is about her father, which I believe it is, I thought it was such a fitting tribute to him.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
It was amazing. It was so good. It
Yeah.
absolutely deserved the second place. And I hope this kind of will show the EBU that Kazakhstan deserve to be at
Oh my
regular
god,
Eurovision because they
literally.
can bring quality. Like they've brought quality. Like even though I wasn't a fan of last year, they know how to stage an entry. Like they can send people that sing. Like they can send kids that sing. So imagine what they can do at an adult contest.
Yeah.
I just thought this was brilliant, and if this had a won, I wouldn't have minded at all.
Right, Modris?
Yeah, or I started watching Junior Eurovision with no good expectations. I thought it will be more of a joke to watch it, like to make fun of the songs and everything. But second song in the running order, and this song is better than a lot of main Eurovision songs.
Yeah.
I think like the people who drag her about that she used her father, but it's what brings the song to life because it's real emotions and that's what's the most important about the
Yeah.
performance.
If no one else has anything to say, we'll move on to song number 3, which was is the song title Best Friends, or is the group called Best Friends?
The song title is Best Friends, and the
Because
group is Unity.
I got very confused in my notes.
I know they say Best Friends and Unity throughout the song a lot,
Yeah.
so it's
Right.
difficult.
Okay, well, song 3, the Netherlands, Best Friends by Unity, and we'll start with Modris.
Yes,
Cannot
I
wait to
wanted
see
to
what
start with
Modris
this
thinks
song.
of this.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, well, this was one of the songs that I made fun of, and the performances. The lyrics was nice for kids song, I guess. It's very appropriate for teenage girls to sing about best friends and their relationship and their other, but it's probably not for my age, this song, and it really reminded me of Little Mix performances in the X Factor 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And another thing that I didn't like about this was that the Dutch stage was completely different from other countries' stage. Like they didn't have that one screen, but some multiple screens stacked, and you can hear the doors creaking and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I I think Netherlands could have done better technically, and the live performance was quite not so good, and I was shocked to see that they do so well, both with jury vote and televote.
Oh yeah, no,
I thought they would become bottom three, but finishing fourth, that was
the
a big
result shook
surprise.
me to my core. I was like, what? Hello?
Yeah.
Literally, where did you come from? Anyway, Cian.
I would just like to preface my comments by saying that I am actually a big fan of Little Mix, so my comments will make sense in the wake of that. I thought this was
Well,
cute. It got a lot of hate. Um, I thought it was cute. I liked it. Like, obviously, it was cheesy. It was a bit gracing at times. I loved their outfits and the doors. I really liked that. It gave me big My Lucky Day from Moldova, Doritos
Oh,
vibes.
yeah.
And I loved that. That was brilliant. I know their vocals, I thought they were fine. You could hear they were a bit nervous, you could hear they were breathing, you could hear they weren't using playback, some people apparently. They just looked like they were having fun with it. Like they looked like they were genuinely enjoying being on the stage with each other, singing a song that was, I thought it was a fun, cute little fun bop. This was my fourth before the show. Um, they had another song in their national selection that I think probably could have gone instead of this, but I'm not mad this went, and I was surprised it came fourth as well.
Yeah.
It was my fourth, finished fourth. I was surprised, but I mean, clearly aiming it at a younger audience worked.
Yeah. I put a similar thing
So
about like I love how they were just having fun. Like you could tell they were just enjoying the experience and it was adorable. Like it was so cute. And they weren't bad singers. Like I can't fault their singing abilities at all. Like it's not like they sounded bad. I feel like a lot of the times when Junior Eurovision or like even normal Eurovision have kind of bigger groups like this, you always get a few of them that don't know how to harmonize properly or just aren't great at singing,
Montenegro
and it
2019.
yeah, and it sounds absolutely awful. Um, but they were all pretty good, and I think their voices worked together well. So yeah, it was nice in that aspect. Um, it was obviously incredibly cheesy. I wanted to like it, like I really did, but it was so obviously aimed at like 12-year-olds. Like it was so obviously just not aimed at my age range, and that's why I didn't enjoy it. But like that's nothing um that they could really help. Like it is a children's song contest, obviously. They're gonna aim it at younger kids, and yeah, they had
Yeah,
decent
like I
outfits.
think it worked for the people they aimed it at.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they had nice outfits, which is always a plus in my books. Um, if they had dressed them last year, they probably would have been in just like coloured plastic bags or something. Like that is the kind of vibes I get from if this performance had been staged last year. So thank the Lord they were just in normal clothes. I did only give it a 2 out of 5 because, like I said, it's not aimed at me, so I couldn't enjoy the song that much, but I liked the performance. I thought it was cute, and I liked how much fun they were having. So, and I am glad that they did so well, despite how random it was. So yeah, we will move on to now number 4, which was Serbia, Heartbeat by another name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Oh, Modris can
Petar.
help me.
I, I, I can Petar Anicic or something like that.
There we go.
Better than
Right,
me and
yeah.
Ellie could do.
Me and Cian,
Yeah.
native English speakers, definitely. There's just no point us even trying.
No.
Right. I'll start this time. I my first comment was just a really pretty LED. I can't actually remember off the top of my head what the LED looked like, but apparently it was pretty. So that's a plus. Um, you can just see in my notes the moment where the music changes, like you know how it kind of starts as like a sad male ballad, right? And if you know me, you'll know I love me a sad male ballad, right? So my initial comment was, oh my god, a sad male ballad, Junior Eurovision, yes please. And then some sort of bass dropped and it turned into like I
Yeah.
don't even know. Like it was like bass, but there was still the piano, and so I just ended up being like, the production on this is so strange. Like I can't keep up with what's going on, and it's a shame because he's really good. Like he was a good singer, and the performance was nice, and I loved his suit. He had a great suit on, but the production was just so weird that like I wanted to enjoy it, but I was just so distracted by how weird the production was. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Um, because I enjoyed um his singing and the performance and parts of the song, but it's just the slightly odd production really let it down and brought it down from like a 4.5 or a 5 to a 4. So yeah.
Yeah, like before the show, I didn't think I'd like Serbia as much as I did. It was my seventh before the show. I thought it was cute actually, and Serbia do this a lot. They bring this kind of slowish ballad. Obviously not last year, but they bring this kind of slowish ballad. Um, I thought the staging was nice, although I did originally think that they had a picture of the coronavirus on the LED board in the background.
Oh
Apparently, it was a sunflower,
no!
so I've been
Oh
told. I thought it was a picture of COVID, but which confused me, obviously. But now that I know it was a sunflower, I suppose it makes more sense. Um, yeah, he was good. I know he probably wasn't playing the piano, but the fact that he was playing a piano while singing
no!
added it
Yeah.
to it for me. I was not a massive fan of his outfit. I don't think it worked with
His
what he
suit
was
was
trying to
amazing. What do you
do.
mean?
His suit was cool, but I don't know. Did a song called Heartbeat need a candy cane suit? I just don't know that
Absolutely.
it did. I just don't know that it did. I did also feel really bad when, during the interval, the host went to him and said, "What will you do if you win Junior Eurovision?" And you could collectively hear everyone watching at home go, "He's not going to win Junior Eurovision." I
Oh
worried about
my
that.
god.
But like, I thought he was good. Like, I know that sounds horrible, but I thought he was good. Um, I was a bit disappointed he came so low. I think he deserved more.
Where did he even
I was
come?
happy to see.
I have no idea where he
Didn't he
finished.
come? Did he not come second last? I may be
I
mistaken.
don't know, but
Yeah,
he
he
deserved
did.
that.
He came 11th.
He did
Yeah,
not
he came
deserve that.
second last. He deserved more. I was happy to see France give him 12 points.
Oh yeah.
Um, and like, even though like it wasn't an outstanding live, there was nothing exceptional about it, but it was good. It was solid, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Right, Modris.
Yeah, I don't really have any comments about this one except the in the very ending he he does this piano pounding. I don't know if that's a good word for that, and that didn't
Piano pounding. We coined that phrase, please.
like
Trademark that immediately.
like knocking on the piano would be better.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and that didn't really made sense for me because heartbeat and piano. Why did he do that? Yeah, but the song I think the piano led it very well, but all the random beats that sounded like they're taken from some site where you can just download beats and put them together
Yeah.
in a program. It was just a song.
Yeah. Fair enough. Right. On to song number 5.
Yeah.
Belarus. Aliens by Modris, please.
Arina Pechtre. I can't even read. Arina Pechtereva.
Right,
Pechtereva.
okay.
Pechtereva, probably.
I can say
Okay,
Arena.
that's
That's
right.
fine.
Who starts?
Cian, you go first.
Okay, so I know Belarus was a big fan favorite this year. I don't know. It was my fifth going into the show. I did like it. I was underwhelmed, personally, seeing it live. I don't know. The staging was weird to me. I kind of see what they were going for, but the random camera cuts took it off for me. The song is good. I was actually more entertained by the rapping than I expected to be. Um, I also thought the random kids making weird faces was very entertaining. Um, I couldn't exactly work out what they were trying to represent. I think they were supposed to be the aliens that she
That's what
sings
I
about.
assumed, but I don't
That's
know
what I
why
interpreted.
human children
Judging,
are the aliens.
yeah, judging by their facial expressions, I initially thought they were supposed to be children that the aliens had kidnapped, but then I thought that was a bit too dark for Junior Eurovision, so it would make more sense that they were the aliens. The staging of this just it kind of let it down for me a little bit. It's a good song, great vocals. Um, she can sing it. It like
Yeah.
it's typical Belarus. Like Belarus bring a good song that's a fan favorite that generally underwhelms me live, but overall I've no real negative comment. It's typical Belarus and Junior Eurovision.
Yeah. Fair enough. Right, Modris, you go next.
Yeah, talking about the aliens, I'm not sure. I didn't really listen to the lyrics that well, but I think she's more referring to the fact that some people maybe feel like aliens within other people because they are different from them, and that might have been the message of the song, but I didn't really listen to the lyrics.
That would make a lot of
This,
sense.
Yeah.
yeah, and I really like the girl, the second girl that appeared with the blonde hair and like the teary eyes and
Oh, she
everything.
had the best facial expressions, hands down.
Yeah, like she's probably a very great actress. And this song pleasantly surprised me, but I couldn't help but notice that she's not releasing it live. First of all, because of the microphone she had. This microphone usually have more isolated sound, like not so I forgot the word smooth now, but let's skip it. Let's skip that word.
Yeah, she
uh,
was one of the people that came under a lot of criticism for this playback.
yeah, and this might have been my very number one if she would have sung live and sung it well, because then you would feel the real emotion from her. But it felt a little bit flat because of the fact that it didn't seem like live singing and
Yeah.
real live emotions. But I really enjoyed the song, and the rap part surprised me. And another thing that maybe took it down a bit, that stopped it from being my winner, was the English lyrics. I would have preferred it if it would have just stayed in Russian or Belarusian. I don't even know which which of the languages was it. I
I
think
honestly have no idea. You're
yeah,
you're more likely to know that than me.
I remember hearing more of it as Russian, but it might have been Belarusian as they are very similar.
Fair enough. Right, on to me. I when this started playing, I was like, oh no, oh god. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this, but actually, I really enjoyed it. Her coat was absolutely criminal. Like, we're just not gonna talk about the outfit. Like,
No, that was horrendous.
let's just not. But she was really talented. Like, she had. One thing I noted was that she had a very mature sound. Like, both her voice and the kind of production of the song were quite mature. Like, it sounded a lot like compared to something like Best Friends. it was like you could clearly see the sort of that Netherlands had targeted a much younger audience, and she'd kind of gone for a more general appeal, and I think that worked really well. And it was just, I think the thing that got me is, we know how much I love a dramatic build, and it was just so dramatic. Like, everything about it was just dramatic, and I loved that. Like, it started off really slow and monotonous, and I had like Sebi vibes for a hot second, and I was like, oh god, please no. Like, and then it was just drama and amazing production, and yeah, it was great. I ended up giving it a 4.5 out of 5. It only lost 0.5 for triggering me by making me think of Sebi for like 10 seconds. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we don't talk about Sebi on this podcast. Anyway, we'll move on
Yeah,
to.
I have one more thing to add about Belarus. I
Alright, go
think
on then.
this song was better than most of their Eurovision entries.
Oh yeah, it did sound like it could be like bordering on going into actual Eurovision. Like,
Like,
if you
this was
told
much
me,
better than Davina
yeah,
from
yeah,
this year.
yeah, if you told me that
Yes,
this was going
definitely.
to actual Eurovision, I wouldn't be like, what the hell? Like, it sounds like it's from Junior. Um,
And same as the 2019 entry, it could have been junior entry, and this could have been the main Eurovision. Right.
yeah,
Yeah, true.
yeah. Anyway, on to song number 6, Poland. I'll be standing by. Modris, help.
Uh, Polish is a bit more complicated because of the C's and Z's and everything. Well, it's a la trash,
Right.
maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Something like that. That better than me, okay, could have done once again. Okay, we'll start with Modris. Modris, go on.
Oh no. This song. So, um, I like the boxer or whatever that was in the beginning and
Yeah.
did a flip or something. That was nice. I didn't like the visuals. I didn't like the dancers. Didn't like what they are wearing. I didn't like the song. The song sounded like something from Supernova 2017, something that Katrina Lukins would sing, or the other young singer,
Yeah.
and maybe Edgar Scrale's fan favorite. Like the melody really sounded like his style, and well, she was good singer. That's the only good thing about this song. She was singing well, but everything else was bad.
Fair enough. I mean, my first comment was, she is adorable. Like, the little girl, it was so cute. Like, but, the song was fine. It was like, eh. Like, I take it or leave the song, but I actually really like the performance. It didn't make much sense, the performance. Like, I wasn't quite sure why certain things were happening, but the dancers on the LED, I mean, innovation. Like, why has no one done that? That was especially in like COVID times. That was a stroke of genius from the Polish delegation. Um, I don't know who I'm referring to with this comment, but I hope someone knows what I'm talking about. I've just put the tennis girl. I'm literally crying. What's
Yeah,
going
no,
on? I
I will
don't know
talk about
who the
that when it's
tennis
my turn.
girl is, but apparently I found it hilarious.
No, I know what you mean.
I also an outfit change. Like, hello, why did we have an outfit change mid performance? I mean, her dresses were cute. Some of the backing dancers were dressed questionably. Like, I almost went back to like 2019 with some of the backing dancers' outfits, but her dress was cute, so I'll let her off. And I said her voice was great, but all of the performance elements and her voice and everything was all just kind of disguising a kind of meh song. Like, I expected more from Poland, especially as they were hosting as well. Yeah. Cian?
Yeah, pretty much everything you've said about the song I have as well. The song, it's not outstanding. It's nothing groundbreaking, especially after the last 2 years when they have brought admittedly decent songs, regardless of opinions of some of the live performances of those songs. This, conversely, was a mess song with a great live. I really liked her voice. Jesus, for someone who's only her age, she could belt it out.
Yep.
The dancers, again, confused the hell out of me. I don't know the girl with the tennis racket. I I I just don't know what was.
I
I
have
feel like they
no
were trying to
memory.
tell some form of story with all these. Like Modris said, there was someone that was dressed as a boxer at the start. I thought he was just wearing tracksuit bottoms that you would see, like you would meet a 14-year-old in a back alley trying to sell you a pack of cigarettes. Was the vibe I got from that. But I felt like they were trying to tell some kind of if you lose, get back up but like in a sporting context,
Yeah.
which then didn't make sense because she was wearing two cute little dresses.
Yeah,
So
the sort of, it's like I said, it sort of didn't make sense. Like the elements
yeah,
were good, but they didn't really go together. I
like they
sort of
threw some good things at the package, but never really tied them together
yeah,
to
yeah.
make sense.
I get the
Um,
sort of sporting things in context with like the song title, for example, and I assume what the song's about. I don't know. I didn't really pay much attention to the lyrics, but I get that. But then there was just some elements of the performance that were like, why?
yeah, and then I thought the dancers looked very happy to be conveying a message of I've been knocked down, but I will still be standing.
The
They were,
dancers were
and
all so happy.
I get that it's Junior Eurovision. You're happy to be on stage representing your country, dancing beside this little girl
Hmm.
who's absolutely belting it out. But like, if that's the message you're going for, maybe put a bit more emotion into it. I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but the dancers thoroughly confused me.
Yeah.
The start as well. I remember as she goes into the chorus, they pan away from her and then come back with these squares or something. And
What?
Jesus, it nearly gave me an epileptic fit. I just couldn't. I did not like it at all. Um, I really liked the outfit change because her first dress wasn't really doing much for me. I think it was the shoes. I didn't like the shoes. I didn't like the black shoes at all.
Didn't
But
like the shoes.
no, and I'm not usually one to pick on outfits, but I did not like shoes at all. But yeah, like I enjoyed Poland more than I expected to. I felt like it could have made more sense
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. I forgot to mention, but I did give that a 3 out of 5. So
Oh yeah, that
pretty
was
middle of the road.
eight. That was eighth in my top before.
Good, good. Right, on to number 7, Georgia. You Are Not Alone by Sandra something. I can say Sandra. I'm not sure about the last name.
Progress.
Modris, you got any contribution to the last name?
I don't really know. I would just say Gadelia.
Right, okay. So we'll just call her Sandra for the purpose of the podcast.
That's all. Yeah, but I can start with this one. And this singer surprised me right away when they showed the postcards and everything, when they introduced themselves. She showed up on screen. I thought she's like 14, 15, but then she says she's 10. And already
Is
that
she?
surprised me. And
Yeah, she's 10.
She was 10.
Yeah.
she was 10, yes. And then she
Jesus.
started to sing, and that voice sounded like grown-up woman. It sounded very
Yeah.
well trained, and she had full control of her voice, and the voice was just incredible. And I think that lifted the whole song up because like it was just another ballad, I guess. But with her voice, it really stood out for me.
Yeah. Kian?
Yeah, I agree with Modris. Her voice really lifts this. But it was probably for me, alongside Kazakhstan, the most powerful vocal of the night.
Yeah.
The song beforehand hadn't really done much for me. It was my ninth before the show, and then I wasn't sure how I was gonna like the live, and it got a bit chaotic towards the end, but like, it was like a good chaos.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, like the swirling LEDs.
The
Um,
swirling. Oh my god.
I thought it was great. I really liked the staging, and I really liked that the dancers wore masks. I don't know why, it
Oh
just
my
felt like a
god,
really
yeah.
nice touch.
It was like
And
2020 come through, like.
yeah, Yeah, like it was like a nice subtle nod to everything that 2020 has brought. And then the
Yeah.
message of the song as well tied nicely into, I thought it was great. Like overall, as a live package, this was really lifted for me. The song, again, it was nothing special. Like for a 10-year-old to be able to belt it out like that, something else. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I am shook that she's 10. I guess, like, it was just, like, beautiful. Like, I was literally captivated from the moment she opened her mouth. I was like, oh my god. Like, obviously, having not heard the songs before the show, I was like, oh, I didn't. This is not what I expected from Georgia. But yeah, I was captivated, and her voice, it was insane. Like, for a 10-year-old, like, hello? Like, what? And I loved the dancers as well. The dancers were the
Ridiculous.
best, like, supporting performance of the night for me. Like, from, like, their dresses were beautiful. Like, the dresses were so nice, and the masks, and just whoever, like, costumed Georgia, yeah, honestly, hats off to you, because you've done an absolute belter here. Like, it was amazing. I liked her dress as well, Sandra's dress with the flowers on, really nice. But the dancer's dresses definitely stood out, and yeah, the LED was stunning. It was beautiful. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I gave it a 5 out of 5 in the end. I was sort of debating 4.5. I was like, well, I don't like it as much as Kazakhstan, but then I was like, well, I've only got 5, like, a rating out of 5 to work with, so I was like, well, it can have a 5 out of 5. I'll give it that. So I gave it 5 out of 5. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So yeah, if no one else has anything to say, we will move on to song number 8, which is Malta, Chasing Sunsets by, is her name Chanel, or is that how they pronounce it in Malta? Like, I don't know. I don't even know where
I
to start with her
assumed it
last
was
name.
Chanel Monsignor. I
Yeah,
don't.
what?
I feel like I've gone too French with that.
I honestly have no idea, but I am starting with this one because, can I just say, this was the cutest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah.
She was so precious. Bless her little heart. She was so cute. I was like literally nearly in tears. It was just so cute. Her dress was stunning. I can't actually remember what her dress looked like, but it just says in my notes that her dress was stunning, so I'm going to assume her dress was stunning. The LED was adorable. Her voice, oh my god, what a little star. I think I just, oh god, honestly, she's so cute. I just wanted to like pick her up and give her a hug. Like, adorable. And the song was so cute. Like, it wasn't like a kids song like Best Friends or like France, but it wasn't like really adult, like kind of like Belarus vibe. It was like you could tell it was made for a kid to sing, but it wasn't like really childish. Like, it had a sort of middle of the road kind of vibe, and I really liked that. And she was just, oh, honestly, it was just cute. Like, that's the best comment I can give it. It was just cute. So I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. And yeah, adorable. We'll go to Kian.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn pretty much completely the other way on this one.
Okay.
This was my 11th going into the show. The song does nothing for me. It to me it builds and goes nowhere. I was pleasantly surprised by the live performance because my God, can that woman sing? Such a small,
Mm.
cute little girl. She belted the song out. I did like the LED. I thought the LED was cute. And the little bit at the end where it looked like she was holding a balloon after it had darkened down. I thought it was nice. Um, yeah, and it's one of those songs that I have it second last, but I feel bad having it second last because I don't think it
You
warrants
should.
being second
You
last.
should feel
But I
bad.
just I just can't put it higher. It's one of those songs that like if this was last, it probably wouldn't be in my bottom five. It's just a there song for me.
Mm.
But it suffers, so it's my second last. But again, her live was brilliant. She belted it out. I really liked the staging and her dress and the LED. I thought the LED was brilliant. And I think it was nice because it wasn't a very, like you said, it wasn't a big song. And it was nearly, it just let you focus on the story that was happening in the LED. And
Yeah,
then when the story was nearly winding up, you came back for her big vocal finish. So I really liked that. I thought they used the staging to nearly lift the song quite well and hide any down points that people may have suffered during the song, because I suffered a lot of down points listening
yeah,
to it the first time when it came out. But yeah, like she did really well. I mean, it's what you expect from Malta at this stage. You expect a good kid singer in Junior
yeah.
Eurovision from Malta. Like this year was no different.
Cool. Right, Modris.
Yeah, I don't really remember the song, but I remember thinking that she's so pure and innocent, and that kind of gives warming feeling. But I really
Modris, a
don't
warming
remember the
feeling.
song.
Shock.
Modest, not the
Yeah.
modest Ellie.
Yeah.
Anything that can warm Modris's heart is a winner.
That's right. A lot of things come on my heart, but I just don't show it often. Yeah, yeah, she seemed like a really nice and pure girl. That was nice, and also the visuals, the animation in the background was probably the best of the night. The story in it was
Yeah.
great.
Right. Let's move on to Russia, and we might have to speed up a little bit because we are getting quite close to an hour. Right, so song
It
9, Russia, My New Day by Sophia something.
fresh color,
Thank you.
I would say.
Um, and we'll start with Gian.
Yeah, this to me gives off a bit like Kazakhstan vibes from last year. It's very Disney-esque. Even with the staging they went with, you can tell they were going for this kind of Disney princess vibe.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Like the studio, not a big fan of the studio. It was fine. It was my 10th coming into the show. And I know she was also one of the people that came under a lot of criticism for playback. I thought the LED worked. I liked the staging. And I think she can sing this live because again, Russia always has a national final that I never follow. But I did
Mm,
watch her live performance when she won. She can sing this live, so it for me, it's not really an issue. It's just it was lifted live. Like a lot of these songs for me were lifted live. The
yeah.
LED definitely lifted this further than it otherwise would have. And I did find myself actually enjoying this when I thought it might be, maybe my tea break, time to go make some tea. But I actually did. I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Right, Modris, what did you think of
Yeah. Yeah.
the happiest song of the night?
Oh, was he happy?
I mean,
So I think Chasing Sunset was happier, but okay. Uh, if you know me, you would think that I would hate this one because I don't like Disney, I don't like Junior Eurovision Song Contest, so combine those two and it's a disaster, right? But this wasn't really a disaster for me. Um, I don't know why, but it made me also feel warm. Maybe it's because it's almost December, and
woo.
for December it's very appropriate. What I have to note is that the lyrics were very appropriate for her age, and yes, that's all.
That's all from Modris. Right. Well, I just, like, she is gorgeous. Like, she was, like, beautiful. And her dress was stunning as well. Like, I was very impressed with the dress. Um, the LED was amazing. Like, it literally looked like a princess film. In fact, I literally put in my notes, cast her in a Barbie or Disney film, please. It was just, it was magical. And I mean, we all know I love my Disney. Like, it was just pretty, and the song was not like overly cheesy. I don't think. I mean, there was cheese to it, but it wasn't like I'm cringing. This is so cheesy kind of vibe. It was just so sweet. Like that's the best word I can use. It was just so sweet. So I gave it a 4.5 out of 5, which is the same I gave to Malta, I believe. I do prefer Malta, by a little bit, but I did really like this. So yeah. And with that, we move on to song number 10, Spain. I This is the first one which the title I'm not even sure how to pronounce. Is it Palante?
Palante.
Something
Palante
like that.
by
Solea.
Solea. There we go. Palante by Solea. And who wants to start with this one?
I will start again
Okay,
because
Modris.
we need those dislikes on this podcast. Spanish people, prepare your fingers.
The Spanish
To-
people already pressing the dislike button.
I can hear the Spanish already typing in the comments.
Yes. So first of all, I will say that this song probably is good in the studio version. It's probably a decent radio song
Kian,
that
can
I
you
wouldn't mind
confirm or
playing
deny?
in the background,
Oh no,
but I
it's a
haven't heard.
brilliant studio song.
Yeah, I haven't heard the studio version, but the live version, the, she couldn't handle this song well. It was really bad. It was the weakest vocal performance of the night, I would say. And the beat was okay, but maybe it
That's
wasn't
it.
really it wasn't really appropriate for her age. Maybe I would prefer a grown-up person
I'd agree with
performing
that,
this
yeah.
song,
I think this was
because
really out of place at Junior
like
Eurovision.
yeah, yeah, I think it's a bit too. I don't know if I can say it in a podcast about Junior Eurovision song, but it's a bit too sexual. The music itself, it seemed like something
Yeah, yeah.
that that could be like very danceable for grown-up dances. And for kids, I don't think this was the right choice stylistically.
Yeah. Kian?
Again, I'm going to completely contrast. This was my winner coming into the
Oh
show.
god.
I love the studio. I mean, if you know me, this is not a shock. I loved it. It was very Rosalia meets Lola Indigo for me, two singers that I really like. I do agree that she had the weakest vocal performance of the night. I didn't think her vocals were as bad if you take into account it sounds like a very difficult song to sing standing in place. And then she had easily the most choreography on the night.
Yeah.
Like I think she's nearly the only one. I'm just looking through all of the countries. She's nearly the only one that had nearly actual choreography. Nobody else really had dance moves. They weren't bopping as much or moving as much as she was. And this is something that Spain could very easily have glossed over with playback, but they didn't. And you can hear her running out of breath towards the end. But I still thought it was an enjoyable performance. I think she did her best, which is all that can be asked at this stage. And yeah, like I really liked that Spain brought something Spanish, had a real Spanish feel. It hasn't worked
Yeah.
out for them at Eurovision, like Mickey coming last. I still
An
don't
absolute
understand.
travesty. An
I still don't
absolute
understand
travesty.
that. But Spain brought something like, and not that Marte wasn't Spanish, but it was a more general, more global appeal. This was very much flamenco influenced, and I really liked it. And despite whatever shortcomings may have happened with her live voice, I'm really glad it came third. I'm happy it got the respect that I think it deserved.
Yeah. Right. I'll just start off by saying anyone who knows my music taste knows that this type of song is just like my worst nightmare. Like I just don't like it at all. Like just the vibes are just I just don't like it. Like that's just my personal preference. Like it's not bad. I'm not like slagging anyone off who doesn't like it, but it's just not my kind of thing. Um I thought it had a very mature vibe, but to the point where it was a little bit weird. Like it was very out of place. Like I wasn't sure why this was brought to Junior Eurovision. I mean, it was a nice change, I guess, but it was just a bit odd for me. I mean, the LED was cool. The backing singers were cool. She was a talent. I mean, the dancing was great. Like, and she had a really unique voice. But I just can't forgive the song or the awful fringe tracksuit that she was wearing.
I didn't
What?
understand that either.
in the name of all that is holy was that? Like, there is a special place in hell for fringe tracksuits. Like, fringe is the worst. Like, we all know how I feel about Samantha Tina's fringe jumpsuit thing, right? But put
As you should.
fringe on a tracksuit, just leave, just burn, just go
This
away.
this
Like,
this was child bullying from the Spanish delegation.
it
This
was
I think this could classify as bullying children from the Spanish delegation.
that
That's one thing I
outfit.
also didn't understand.
Yes, I
Because even her
completely
dances were
agree.
fine. Her dancers
Oh,
were dressed pretty decently, and then she comes with this blue fringe tracksuit that makes
it's
no
just
sense.
the worst. It was the
And
fact
this
as well that like the strands of the fringe were like half her size. Like it was like, why has she got like wings made out of fringe? It was just no. It was actually criminal. Like I just could not like.
this
I,
9-year-old girl, I think she's 9, has been bullied on global television.
no, we're not rating outfits, right? But there's just some things that you can't forgive, and that is one of them. So, in the end, I gave this a 1 out of 5, and the 1, it pretty much encompasses everything but the song and the outfit. Like, the performance and the LED was cool, and I think she was great, and she was a talent. It's just not my kind of song, not my kind of vibe, and that outfit should be no one's vibe. So, yeah, that is all I've got to say on that. And with that, we move on to song number 11, Ukraine, with Modris, please say the
Should
song
I
title.
say it? Alright, this song title is Відкривай, or Open Up in English. The Eurovision 2021 slogan, I think, was it, right?
Yep.
And the singer is Alexander Balabono. Yes, that's about right. And I would like to also start with this one.
Go on then.
So I have really mixed feelings about this one. I looked at my chart, and I moved it around from basically in each category. It went up and down.
Yeah.
First of all, I liked the instrumental part. It sounded very adult contemporary.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like children's contest song. I liked his lower voice, like his normal singing voice, but when he went falsetto, he didn't make a really good sound, and that probably ruined the song for me.
Yeah.
And the live performance was okay, but nothing really that took attention.
Right, I'll go next. So my first comment is just ripping off Eurovision. I see. I mean, I can only assume that's where the title of the song came from. I don't know where else it could possibly have come from. I refuse to believe that's a coincidence. I was also quite shocked to see another male in the contest.
Well, they just found. Yeah, I will just finish about your. It's just the translation of the Відкривай. It isn't like perfect translation, but it's the same meaning. So they just use the open up from the slogan as the perfect translation to be for the song title.
Right, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll let them off then, but still, bit suspicious. Little bit suspicious. Anyway, his voice shook me to my absolute core. I was like, hello? Aren't you a child? Why is your voice so deep? He sounded old, like he just sounded like early 20s. It was weird. It completely caught me off guard. I've put brilliant fashion choices once again. I think he was wearing a turtleneck, and I highly approved. An excellent outfit. It was just normal, like it wasn't over the top. It was nice. It matched the song. Good outfit. 10 out of 10. Cool LEDs, and we all know I'm a sucker for lights and things that glow. So the like light orb that he was holding, I was a big fan of that. It was like the chill sort of like build sort of thing that was going on with the instrumentation is not really my vibe. Um, we know I like my drama, my big builds and things like that. So the chill vibe sort of let it down for me. But overall, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think it was pretty decent. And I liked the performance and the staging. So yeah, Kian.
Yeah, not for the first time in this podcast, I will be going complete opposite way. This was my last coming into the show. It was the one song that I strongly, strongly, strongly disliked from the beginning. And I always feel bad um heavily criticizing in Junior Eurovision because they are kids.
Mhm.
I did his regular singing voice was fine. I was actually surprised at how much I liked his regular singing voice live because it was something I never really noticed in the studio version. When he went falsetto, like Modris said, it just took me out of it completely. I nearly unplugged my headphones every time he went falsetto. I just couldn't cope. It felt screechy to me, and I know there are probably music experts out there who will tell you that it was a great falsetto, but it was to me it was just annoying. I didn't like the vibe of the song. Like, apparently this is contemporary. Didn't I didn't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't feel. I didn't vibe with it. Like it felt very indie music to me,
Oh
which, as we
god.
all know, I'm not a big indie music fan. And I know again, I'm probably going to get some attacks on that one because it's not indie music, but it gave me the same vibe as some of the indie music. I am confused as to why he had an orb of light in his hand.
I
I'm
liked the
assuming
orb
it
of
was.
light. It
I'm
made no
assuming it
sense, but I
was.
enjoyed it.
I'm assuming it was to do with the lyrics. If you were to translate the lyrics, or if you understand Ukrainian, I'm sure there is a reason why he is holding it. But he didn't really do anything with it. He just kind of held it and looked at it and
Yeah,
stroked it.
he
It
did.
was very James Bond villainesque the way he like every James Bond villain seems to have a cat that they stroke as James Bond bursts into the lair, and this just felt like his villain cat to me. Um, it just he just looked all he did was
God's
look at it
sake.
and stroke it, and yeah, it was to me it was weird. His voice was fine except for when he went high. The song, I didn't like the song, but I've never liked the song, so yeah.
Fair enough. And now, finally, we go on to the eventual winner, who performed last in the running order, song number 12, France. I am probably gonna butcher the pronunciation of the French, despite me doing French till I was like 16. But j'imagine, is that like
J'imagine.
j'imagine? Yeah, there we go. Right.
Yeah.
By Valentina. Who wants to begin? Who would like to start with the winner?
I'll go
Um,
first.
Go on then, Kian.
I thought this was my third coming into the show, but I thought this was the best overall package of them. Again, she was the one heavily criticized for playback. She's probably taken the most flack for it because she's won, and
Yeah.
because other fan bases can't handle when their country loses fairly. But anyway, I thought this was great. I really like the song when it first came out. The chorus annoyed me a little bit. I think the verses are so much better than the chorus, but
Mm.
like it is a good song. And Valentine is so cute.
Oh my
She's
god, isn't
so
she?
small and tiny and pure, and she's a really good singer as well, which I think is disappointing. And I think she herself was disappointed. I saw a thing, somebody messaged her on Instagram saying, why was there playback? She was disappointed they had put the playback in without her knowing.
Yeah.
So she can sing. The song is great. I thought the staging was brilliant. For me, it was the best LED of the night. It just worked really well. And it's nice to see a kid's song do so well in Junior Eurovision. You know, everyone always tends to gravitate more towards the adult, or at least the fandom will gravitate towards the adult entries, like
Yeah.
Belarus. Belarus always bring a modern song that could be mistaken for an actual Eurovision song, but this was just a cute little song. It deserved its win. I think it's the weakest song France have sent since they come back. I think Jamais Sans Toi and Bim Bam Toi were both better than this, but this was a deserved winner this year. It was a weak year. There was only 11 people she had to beat, and I think it was a thoroughly deserved win for France. I thought it was, like I said, the best overall package of the night. She
Yeah.
thoroughly deserved her jury. televote and overall win. So
Right, Modris.
Well, yeah. I think France did a really, really good job with the stage. They used it very well and it looked really good. Song was fun and she was cute and it was good. Not my winner, you will see it later, but yeah, it wasn't bad. But I don't really have specific comments about this one. I
Modris,
didn't notice
a
that
man of
she
many
didn't
words.
sing live though.
Alright, well, let's have a look at my notes. What did I say? My first note is just, she is so cute, bless her little heart, oh my god. And yeah, I mean, she was adorable. I think the song fit her vibe very well. Like, she just seemed so in her element, and I think that was just so charming. Like, it was adorable. Um, I guess I'll talk about her outfit first, because that's how I've kind of gone in
your
my
brand.
notes. So, I mean, yes, that is my brand. We slag off outfits here. Anyway, her jacket was something. But the dress was cute. I liked the dress. I liked the Barbie pink. I think it fit the song. It fit the vibe. The jacket, we pretend we do not see it, but the dress was nice. So I'll give it that. Um, the song was just like an overload of 10-year-old. Like, it was just like everything about it was like, it felt like an annoying little sister. Like, that's the best way I can put it. But like, in a sort of endearing way. Like, it wasn't bad and it worked, but it felt like an annoying child. And
So it probably felt like someone else's annoying little sister, not your own.
yes,
Like you,
yeah,
the sister who annoys your best friend,
yes,
but
pretty
you find
much.
it cute. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with this one.
Yeah, that's the
I
best
agree.
way I can describe it. Like, I literally put it's charming for what it is, but it's obviously not aimed at anyone over the age of 12. Like, it's obviously a
I
child, like a song for a child. Like, that's
Yeah,
the
I
vibe.
actually disagree with this because I think it could be very well played in general radio for grown-ups as well. Like, of course, I don't speak French and I don't know what they sing about, but just a happy vibe song that also reminds me of Austria 2016. Like, I don't see much difference between these two songs. Like, they're both just happy, nice songs that you wouldn't mind hearing on the radio or in a mall or something.
Yeah, I think maybe if I'd heard it, like the studio in isolation, then maybe I would agree with that. But I think with the performance elements and her and just the whole vibe of it, it just came across to me as, this is clearly not aimed at me. Like, this was not aimed at 18, 19-year old. Like, it was aimed at the age range of the singers rather than the age range
Maybe
of
then
sort of the ESC
this
fandom.
maybe the singers themselves and the parents, because parents would love children singing songs like this.
True. Yes, very true. That is a good point. I mean, maybe I'm wrong because obviously it won, so someone somewhere enjoyed it. Like, the ESC fandom clearly enjoyed it because it won, and it won the televote as well. So it wasn't sort of like a carried by the jury or anything like that. But yeah, I've written the bit with the stars though. That was adorable, and she can sing. Like, she is a very, very good singer. I don't know what the bit with the stars was. Don't know what bit I'm referring to. My memory's not that good, but apparently I really enjoyed the bit with the stars. I just think it was just cute. Like, it was just so endearing. And as much as the song isn't my vibe, I love her, and um,
Yeah, I
it
would
was
agree with
just
that.
cute
I think she
and
brings a lot to the song.
yeah, and
That otherwise, like if somebody else may have sung this, it would have been a bit sickening, nearly.
yeah.
But Valentina, she's just so sweet. She's
I think
so
she really makes it, and that's why even though I don't like the song and it is quite low in my top, I couldn't be mad when it won because bless her little heart.
I
Like,
thought it was so cute when she had won, and I presume the woman in the room was her mother, and she
oh
started
my
crying,
god,
and she picked her up and hugged her. It
I
was
I
so like
honestly I honestly was on the verge of tears. I was like, I cannot.
yeah,
This is the cutest thing I've
it was
ever
so
seen.
beautiful. And then to like turn off the stream and
Yeah.
go onto Twitter and just see everyone attacking her on Twitter for
Mhm.
no reason. It was it ruined the
I I
moment. But
I don't understand how can you like attack children at
Yeah,
all
that
no,
doesn't make
online
sense to
like
me.
that
30-year-old, I remember seeing, it was a 30-year-old man was like, she shouldn't have won. She was, and used words that I will not use on this podcast. And I was like, how can you sit there and bash a song by an 11-year-old girl? Like,
It's just
like,
wild to me. Like,
like I'm
oh
23 and I feel bad bashing any people in this because they've all got a song. They've all either written a song or recorded the song or both.
yeah.
And like it's amazing to be able to do something at that young age. And I'm like,
I was gonna say,
ah,
I, I
it's
think of myself at that age, and I'm like,
yeah. I think of me when I was 11, and absolutely not a hope in hell would I have been
yeah,
able to do any of this. I mean,
it's
aside from the
just,
fact that I
yeah,
can't sing anyway,
yeah,
but
literally.
like even if I could, not a hope would I have been able to do any of this. So I'm like, I don't know where people get off on kind of criticizing a junior Eurovision winner or claiming that it's been rigged. Like if you're making up conspiracy theories about a junior Eurovision Song Contest for kids being
Yeah.
rigged, you need a new hobby like swimming, running.
Swimming.
We don't promote
knitting.
alcoholism, but maybe drinking because there are just so many better things you could
I
do with your
think
time than go in on
I
an
think
11-year-old
drinking would
French girl.
make it even worse. Drinking would make it even worse for these people.
True. To be
So
Probably,
fair,
better
yeah.
yeah. Maybe
go
don't drink. Maybe don't.
knit a sweater or something.
Yeah, maybe take a smoke break if you're not happy with the results or something. I don't know because I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah. I give it a 3.5 in the end out of 5, which is a pretty decent score. But yeah, no, I just think she deserved it. Like, bless her heart. Even though the second place, Kazakhstan, obviously, I wanted them to win, but I just couldn't be mad. I couldn't be mad that France won because,
You just can't hold it against them.
yeah, literally, so cute. Like, yeah, it made me happy. It made me happy when she won. It was a really nice moment. And with that, we will wrap up the podcast by just quickly going through our tops. So we're just going to say, we're going to start from 12, go to 1, and we're just going to say the countries. So, Cian, do you want to start?
Okay, so my 12th place is the same as it was before the show. It's Ukraine.
My 12th place is Spain.
And mine is Poland.
So my 11th place again is a non-mover. Malta, 11th.
My 11th place is the Netherlands.
And my 11th place is Spain.
My 10th place is another non-mover for my top before the show, and it's Russia.
My 10th place is Germany.
Mine is Netherlands.
My 9th place is down 2 spots from my original top, and it's Serbia.
My 9th place is Poland.
And for me, it's also Serbia. We have something in common with Kian, and that's surprising.
That's very rare. It's very rare. My 8th place is up 1 spot from my previous top, and it's Georgia.
My 8th place is France.
Malta for me.
My 7th place, also up 1 place from my previous top, is Poland.
Oh wait, sorry, 7th place, Serbia.
I have Russia in 7th place.
My 6th place, down 1 spot, is Belarus.
My 6th place is Ukraine.
And I have Ukraine as well in 6th place.
My 5th place, up 1 spot, is Kazakhstan.
My 5th place is Russia.
Russia. All right, my fifth place is Germany.
My fourth place, non-mover from my original top, is the Netherlands.
My fourth place is Malta.
And in fourth place, I have France.
My third place, down one spot, is Germany.
My third place is Belarus.
And I can just note that my top three is the songs that I actually liked. And my third place is Georgia.
My second place, up one spot, is France.
My second place is Georgia.
Second place for me is Belarus.
And that means my winner is a non-mover from my original top, and it is Spain.
My winner is obviously Kazakhstan. I mean, beautiful. I loved it.
And I agree with Ellie. My winner is also Kazakhstan. I was really, really rooting for either one of my top three to win, but it didn't happen.
Sadly. But we are
Yeah.
happy for Valentina. Bless her little heart. She deserved
Yes, congratulations. And I guess France will put up a great show next
Yeah.
year. They're very
Probably in
experienced.
the Eiffel Tower, let's be
it.
real.
Yep. Probably in the Eiffel Tower. Oh my god, when the Eiffel Tower came on Valentina's LED, I was like, surely we couldn't go through a French performance without seeing the Eiffel Tower at some point.
No, of course we couldn't. Because if Tom Lieb can perform in front of the Eiffel Tower, Valentina can host the show next year from the Eiffel Tower.
Anyway, so that will conclude the first episode of the What's the Quack podcast with myself, Cian, and Modris. Really hope that you have enjoyed listening. We are not entirely sure at the moment when the next episode will be, but it will be covering the Albanian national selection. Some other members of the podcast will be talking about the Albanian songs, obviously prior to the live show.
Yes, and of course, you can't forget to subscribe to not miss the next podcast and also follow on Twitter.
Yes, all of our social media will be linked in the description, as well as our Discord server where we talk about Eurovision with the Discord community. So, yes, that is all from us, and we will see you in our next podcast.